company is going down, or you acquired a company and the new company feels left out, you can add some inspirational element. There you can actually add an inspirational tone to otherwise predominantly informative and persuasive speech. It's not in isolation at all. You inform about your company, you persuade them to continue not to leave the new company, and you can say welcome to the new company, and you can add a story with a little bit of inspirational touch. That will complete the CEO speech of holding that team together. Perfect. So you got an informative, persuasive, inspirational speech by a CEO to motivate and inspire the new people, so that it's a small company joining a bigger company, being acquired absolutely no problem. Just to give you predominantly this informative and little persuasive in a corporate setting. Okay, if it is not a sales situation, predominantly it is. So you are absolutely right. Informative, no need of emotions. That is why I launched those 4 types of speeches. Emotions are required as you go towards inspirational speeches. So it's a huge difference in terms of that is why Toastmasters teaches even in the project 3. It says there are 4 types of speeches. That is the main reason. The way you structure, the way you deliver, the way you want to use emotion, the way you should not use emotion. Everything is the way that you, not only your subject, what kind of example you're going to do. I give you a simple example of how a simple diabetes can be broken into all the 4 types of speeches. So everything will have different content. Definitely different content. So when you're talking about washing your diabetes is for the given. We're not going to talk about beta cells and type 1 and type 2. That is informative. Does it make sense? Yeah, I'll be happy to answer any questions of it. So with content hopefully wrapped up, right? Any other questions, can you please? Yeah.
Talking about you're actually wearing a mask in the past second, because there are various types of speeches that you do. So if you are wearing a mask, you know, if you think that it's informative or inspiration, don't you think it's very difficult to establish a connect? Because unless it comes from within and a little bit of emotion is attached to it, you will really be able to connect with people like that.
You are saying without emotion, can you connect?
Correct. Don't you think emotion is also key?
No, that's what I'm saying. Depending on the context, if you are addressing your team, which you know for a long time, I don't think there is need for emotion. Emotion will be out of place because everybody would know everybody. A trust or credibility should have been built. If it is not there, that's
to add to what he is saying is that we are by nature people oriented. Whether you are a CEO or leader of a company, when you connect with the people, always you need to establish a connect,
right.
relationship, trust.
Right.
Trust. The person who delivers, you need to align with them.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Alignment will not happen informative.
Trust and credibility cannot be built in one speech. That's why example I gave you a value company. If you are working with a team for 6 months, okay, it takes typically 6 months when 2 people meet in whatever be the relationship, boss, subordinate, or 2 colleagues. In my opinion, it takes about 6 months. I can always say I'm very transparent. People have to experience the transparency through a set time frame. They have to see how I make decisions when somebody makes a mistake. How much of accountability I take. It cannot be done in 7 minutes or not even in 1 hour. Okay. So we can take it for a different discussion. Now, it takes time to build trust and credibility. Now, in a speech to an established audience, your own team is very different. I give you an example of a new audience. You have 1 hour, half an hour to connect and make them engage with you so that they don't take the decision of quitting this new company. I'm just giving you an example. So it's a huge difference when you give it to your own team, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years old, to a completely new client, sales situation. Definitely different. I will be happy to discuss, but we will take it after that because it's a time.
I would like to add one thing. Toastmasters calls those 4 speeches as purposes. They are not types of speeches. There are 4 purposes of the speeches, which is informative, inspirational, persuasive, and entertaining. So, why you give a speech depends on what kind of what among these 4.
No, your ability, your topic and content will take it separate. It's a huge topic on its own. I'll be happy to discuss, but because of time shortage, right? But I just want to leave with you. It's not an easy topic. Connecting with people, very few leaders do, in my opinion, honest opinion. So it's an ocean thing for us to talk and discuss our own experience. Now coming back very quickly, Arjun, did you raise it?
Okay, this with regard to Toastmasters speeches.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So So if you have two types of content in mind for the next speech, one content which you are really passionate about, but you know that the audience won't like it that much, and another content which you don't like that much, but you know that the audience will like it. Which one do you choose?
No, choose the content which is close to your heart.
But what if the audience doesn't relate with that?
You have to manage. You have to, of course. Let's say I'm giving a talk about aging or something like that. It is very close. You're going to kill me, right? But that's the only topic I have. Unfortunately, that's a different issue. So I have to customize. So I can even connect talking about your parents and things like that. There's multiple ways you can try and do. But absolutely, always take something close to your heart and try to modify or suit the audience. If not, you have to select another topic. That's my personal opinion. Okay.
So if I prepare a content, I start delivering. I feel that the audience is not much interested. So how I continue that content with confident and deliver?
Okay. So
like that.
if you feel the audience is not interested, can we take that offline? I'll cover structure quickly. Are you okay? We'll take it after this session. I mean, after the meeting. If you're okay. So his question is, how do you continue the audience are interested? We'll talk about that. So very quickly, do we have time?
10 minutes.
Okay. So now coming back to structure. See, structure is extremely important. In fact, the raw content is now put through the structure process. That's what makes you deliver well. In fact, if you can follow your speech end to end very clearly, there is no question the structure is very good. If you lose the speaker somewhere, or the speaker feels he loses the audience, it's only because of the structure. Very, very rarely it's because of anything else. Of course, you can have not disturbing gestures, distracting gestures. We will not get into all those things today. So structure is extremely important. Takes your raw content, puts it together, and even if you are top notch with your delivery skills, in a badly structured speech, you cannot do justice. Okay. So structure, very first thing is you need to create. You need to be very clear once you have your content. What is your core message or premise or what I call foundational phrase. So I've given, I don't know how many of you watched the videos. Okay. Yeah, very quickly I've given 6 videos that for the benefit of guests we send some links together, you may not have got it. Quickly we can talk if you have found if you have the foundational phrase or the core, I'll call it core message for this in any of the speeches. Jim Key speech.
Never too late.
Jim Key, never too late. Never too late to pursue your dreams. Guess it's different championship speeches in Toastmasters. 2003 is there. Actually, you may not have the context. Maybe after the meeting I'll explain to you. So 2003, Jim Key, never too late to pursue your dreams. That is the message. Do you all agree?
Yes.
And then Lance Miller.
The ultimate question is, do you
validate?
Do you validate?
Do you praise others?
Find the goodness in people.
Fine.
Find the goodness in people. He's not saying it explicitly, right? I mean, he says it somewhere. But please feel free. And then 2007, Gopal Vikas Tingran.
Dreams.
Swami's.
Yeah, the answer for your problems is inside. So sit in silence, reflect. The answer is not outside, but the answer is inside. And of course, the remaining 3, if you have time, we'll go. Reach out for help. Don't wait. So, okay, that's about the core message. Once you have a core message, you have the opening, main body. In the last page, I've given you a diagram. That's no brainer. But the point of the diagram is opening, main body 1, 2, 3, and then closing. And each has to be a chunk of content. So if you look at the main body part 1, like chunk 1, chunk 2, chunk 3, there are 3 chunks. I've given indicative diagrams. But if you analyze the speeches, you will see little variations. I don't know how much time we will have, but we may not be able to get into that now. So the chunk means it can be one story, right? All 3 chunks could be a single story also. You can set up, you can escalate, you can find a resolution. All within one story, you can complete your entire main body. It can be 3 different stories, it can be multiple anecdotes, it could be quotes, it could be anything, right? There's no hard and fast rule. Chunk does not mean a story, it could be 3 different stories. So typically keep it 2 or 3 pieces for a 5 to 7 minute speech. Even longer speeches, you can do 4. You extend the length of the content, right? And then the main thing is when you write, when you pick your stories and anecdotes, it has to go with the core message. If you're talking about never too late to pursue your dreams, you cannot have a content which talks about anything which is not relevant to that, right? So never too late to pursue your dreams. Whatever content you have chosen from your content file, it has to match with the message in the speech. If you are bringing any content which is extraneous to the core message, it applies to any presentation, frankly, even in corporate presentation, please unemotionally remove it. This is the toughest job for all of us. How many of you struggle to remove content when your mentor says it? Okay, please, if you want to become a great top-notch speaker, somehow get that. None of us are good in that, but please try to change. Be flexible, and simply you can look at it. If it doesn't match, it doesn't match. That's our audience are not going to follow. You are only attached emotionally to a piece of story which happened 25 years back, which has no relevance to your title or core message. So anything not mapping or meaning to the core message, please remove it unemotionally. This is something, okay, you may lose some 100 words, 200 words of content, write it again. Go and find content to substantiate, prove your point, prove your premise. That's all will make you a better speaker. You are just saying never late, too late to pursue your dreams. Just tell the audience how. Audience will say how. Is it personal story? You are looking very young. You are only 22 years. What the hell are you talking about? Never too late. Right? Now, for you, Arjun's question. Now, how do you at 22 are going to talk to a bunch of 40, 50, 60-year-old and then motivate them? I'm not saying it's not possible. You got to think. You got to get the right content. Okay, you got to prove your premise, and your age is also not on your supporting side for the title. Right? So many things make a great speaker. We are all still scratching the surface. Let me tell you. I mean, it's my honest personal opinion. I'm sure Alex will agree with me. We are all, no, Alex?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm saying all of us are, I am scratching the surface. So look at it and then opening. So, yeah, I can show you, no problem. See, opening, there are many ways of opening. If you watch the speeches very closely, all of them depart from a traditional opening. Asking a question, using data or statistics. Watch the TED Talk by Sheryl Sandberg. How many of you watched? A brilliant way to launch data. Sheryl Sandberg TED Talk. Why enough women are not in leadership positions. Please watch that. That's how you use data to set the context for your speech. She gives 4 data points. Brilliant. She sets the dialogue. No question. Yes. Now she goes about should women be in leadership or not. They have a lot of responsibilities. It's a brilliant talk overall. So third is setting a timeline. Last Sunday 4 p.m. I was driving somewhere. So set the timeline, year, date, time, whatever, and be very specific. Setting a timeline in your speech helps you to take the audience to a particular spot, and then your ability to weave a complete story from that point is up to you. So opening, multiple ways of opening, but just to again draw the parallel, all this World Championship speeches, what I sent the links, they all have a very dramatic opening. They are not asking a question or anything. So have main body 1, 2, 3, and closing, summarize, re-emphasize, and do a circular close. What is your purpose of your speech? You started with something. You have given a lot of data points or stories or anecdotes. Put all of them together and call back and close. Now this is the structure. We're running out of time. 2 or 3 things I wanted to do the workshop format. If you watch the videos, we won't have time. Many good techniques are being followed by top speakers. One is rule of 3. If you see Presi and Vasilyev's speech, towards the end, the last 1.5 minutes, he uses 3 broad rule of 3s. If you have not watched, please watch that. Brilliant usage. In my opinion, whenever people use rule of 3 towards the closure of the speech, it's extremely powerful to connect with the audience. Rule of 3 is 3 parts, right? I came into the office, picked up a book, went out of the office. That is rule of 3. Actually, it's a crude example of rule of 3. Nothing else comes to my mind right now. But President Vasilyev's reach out speech, he says, when you reach out, you get ideas which lift you up. When you reach out, you get solutions which lift you up. When you reach out, you get friends who lift you up. That is the first of the 3 rule of 3s he applies. If you go back and watch the speech. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. For the people, by the people, of the people, government. That's also the most popular rule of 3 is that. Okay. So rule of 3 usage. Second is transitions. When you transition from one chunk of content, be very clear to give a pause or use a phrase, transitional phrase. Again, I'll leave it there. We can discuss it offline. Third is callbacks. I see something. There are 4 times he uses I see something. Repetitions and callbacks register. It makes the speech memorable. There is no question about that. In fact, even if your speech is a little weak, by repeating a very popular your own speech, by calling back, you are taking him back to your speech, and you can actually play around. So somebody asked, how do you, in case the speech is boring, if you have a repetitive phrase, generally the speech would be a lot less boring or not boring, in general. Because people are connected with that phrase, never too late, never too late. I'm saying a story, never too late. I'm quoting something from a book, never too late. You can view your speech like that. So I see something I know for sure 4 times he does. And then reach out he does 3 or 4 times and Brazil and Brazil. And then some very intuitive callbacks I want to bring to your attention. Swami's question, I don't know how many of you watched. Okay, is there a repetition in Swami's question? Inside. Swami itself is a repetition. Swami is a visual repetition.
Character.
The Swami, right? And also it's a language repetition. Whenever he has trouble, he goes back to the Swami. The Swami is sitting on the right side of the stage, very brilliantly. I think it's one of the best I like his speech actually. And second thing is, he really, whenever he has a problem, he not only goes visually there, he also actually uses the word, goes back to the Swami. Swami is a repetition there actually. He uses it very brilliantly. And any other repetitions you have observed in the 6 links? Chaching does about 10 times. Again, chaching is nothing but you validate people, you appreciate people. It's a parking ticket validation in the US, some of you, but many of you may know. Same thing he uses about validating and appreciating the goodness of people by stamping with the appreciation. That is chaching. So, callback is extremely powerful. With that, before Arvind throws me out, we can take any questions offline. So, get your content, organize, and you learn delivery tools. The sessions are going to come up in the next few weeks, and you'll talk on stage.